Now I hope you can see it. As you said, my name is Guro Hauge, and I work for the Low Energy Program in Norway, and we were one that stood behind the Hold Tight campaign, together with Norway, which is a state agency, and the construction industry organizations. The Low Energy Program is a cooperation between the construction industry and state agencies, and we work to increase the competence level in the building industry regarding energy efficiency. And I will now give a short presentation of the campaign, and I'm not a technical expert, so if you have questions regarding technical solutions, I hope that some of the other panelists can answer that. I just give a bit of a background for the campaign. As you all know, air leakage from buildings resulting from mistakes when making a building airtight is a huge problem. And as a short background, Norwegian buildings have a total energy consumption of 80 terawatt hours, and the average household uses 201 kilowatt hours per square meter. As a part of the campaign, SINTEF Byggforsk estimated that potential savings from putting measures into place to reduce the leakage figures in the housing stock are between 2.8 and 3.7 terawatt hours per year up to the year 2030. And this only applies from the energy saving from measures in the housing stock and does not take into account other commercial buildings. And of course, there is a huge potential here as well. The aim of the campaign was to give tradesmen more knowledge about the most common errors that are made and how easily leakage can be avoided when constructing and renovating buildings. The building codes in Norway from 2007 set more stringent requirements for energy density in buildings, and hence there was a significant personal value for tradesmen to update their knowledge about important installation techniques so that as far as possible they could avoid making errors for which they could be held actually financially responsible. The main target group for the campaign was tradesmen working on the construction sites such as carpenters, bricklayers, electricians and plumbers. And we chose to achieve the maximum, or to order to achieve the maximum effect, we ran the campaign jointly by Enova, the Low Energy Program, and the construction organizations. And the campaign was launched in the winter 2020. The content of the campaign was, it was a big challenge. We thought that, okay, this is huge a problem with the air leakage, and it's a big challenge to get attention for the message. And we are competing against everyone else's advertisements. So because of that, we chose to send out a brochure with a condom glued inside with the text, "Stop the leaks, holes in the damp barrier can have undesirable consequences." So we wanted to have a bit of humor in the campaign as well. Around 50,000 brochures were sent out, and it was sent out to all tradesmen through their memberships bulletins. At the same time as the brochure was sent out, the extent of leaks resulting from careless construction was successfully submitted as a separate news item to the Norwegian national TV station NRK, which ran the item in its main broadcast that day. The broadcast was made from a construction site outside Oslo, and the brochure was handed out to construction workers on site. And the managing director of Enova took part, emphasizing the significance of airtight buildings for efficient use of energy. The broadcast was followed up by additional PR measures targeted as relevant technical press to increase the awareness of the campaign. And I would just show you some example of that now. This is one. Another one was keep the building airtight. And now you can see the brochure that we send out. And as I said, the text was "Stop the leaks. Holes in the damp barrier can have undesirable consequences." And then we gave 5 advices on how to keep the building airtight. It was make sure the building is airtight around ground level, polish, remember to seal the pores in the light clinker constructions, remember to seal around pipes properly, make sure the loft and roof constructions are airtight, and measure the leakage figures. And then we encourage people to go to holdtet.no, which was the website, and find out what you need to know about sealing methods. And here we find 5 simple films about how to work on sealing buildings correctly. And we think that the films were important to give informative information about how to do it, so that the campaign not only were a single PR happening. The campaign costed around 64,000 euros, and that includes development of the web, the films, the PR, development of the brochure, and to send out the brochure with the bulletins. It was an evaluation of the campaign, and that was done by a media agency called OMD. And one of the findings was that various membership bulletins to different trades are seldom read, and that was of course a disappointment, including just 15% of the carpenters read their membership bulletins. And that this indicates that the channels that we used were not sufficient to reach the whole target group. And the OMD recommends that serious use of the web through a new launch. However, the results were very good amongst those who have saw and read the brochure, and as you see, 60% have become more aware of the problems of making houses airtight. 75% think the message is relevant. 60% like the content because it's informative. 73% of the electricians and 59% of the carpenters are more aware of the problems of making buildings airtight after reading the publication. And 89% says that the films are relevant. So it's a good result, we think, among those who actually saw the campaign, but we are a bit disappointed about how many that actually saw the campaign and read the brochure and got into the films. So to sum up some results and learning points, if people want to or think of doing the same in their own country, it is an important issue, and the construction workers think it's relevant for them. And it's important to show them how to do it, the concrete solutions, as the films were showing them exactly how to do it on the construction site. Think carefully through the broadcast and advertisement channel, and we think that if we had used web more, that would get more people to see the films. So as a conclusion, we think that the campaign gave good results among those who saw it, and taking the evaluation point into account, it can give even better results next time or for others that want to do the same. So hopefully the campaign can be an inspiration to similar campaigns in other European countries as well. And I thank you for your attention. And in the end of this, we will show you one example of the film that we developed through the campaign.
Gjennomføringer av kanaler og rør i ytterveggen er en av de vanligste lekkasjepunktene i klimaskjermen. Det er viktig å gjøre tetting rundt gjennomføringene før det isoleres og kles innvendig. Ved hulltagging er det viktig å bruke et godt hulltaggingsverktøy, slik som dette. Da har vi boret et fint sirkulært rør til kanalen. Da ser vi at det er en ca. 10 mm foge rundt kanalen, som kan tettes på ulike måter. Den enkleste og beste metoden er å bruke en såkalt mansjett. Så trekker vi den utenpå kanalen. Slik. Tar vi av vareteipen og klistrer på platen. Da er det helt tett rundt kanalen. I likhet med kanaler så er det også viktig å tette andre rørgjennomføringer i ytterveggen. Her er det et typisk elektrikerrør som går til utelys for eksempel. Kan også tettes med slike mansjetter. Vi trer den utapå elektrikerrøret, presser inn og fester med den selvklemmende teipen. Slik det viktig å tette alle tekniske gjennomføringer I klimaskjermen.
Just a couple of minutes.
Okay. Guro, so regarding your campaign, so you mentioned that you were a little bit disappointed with the number of people who have actually looked at the video. So one question is, what are your plans in order to improve that impact?
I think that, and also as the media agency said, that if you want people to look into a film at the website, it's better to have a web campaign instead of sending out paper brochures, because it's an extra step to go into the website and then look into the films. So I think if people want to do the same thing, or we are doing it once more in Norway, I think that to have a much huger web campaign will increase the impact.
Okay. And I'm not sure I remember exactly. How do you? What is the number of people you have been able to reach so far? Do you know that?
I'm not sure of the exact number that we reached. It was 50,000 brochures that was sent out, and it varied a lot actually between the electricians and the plumbers that read their bulletins much more than the carpenters. So, but I'm sorry that I don't have the exact number, but it was the most disappointing thing was that there was only 5% that saw the films, but almost all of them that saw the films were very thought it was very relevant for them, and it gave them good instructions. So I think the important thing to improve the campaign was to get more people to actually see the films. So yeah, because I think that's the best part of the campaign actually. Of course it was, we thought that we would get more attention because we send out condoms, and that's not normal to do even in Norway. So, but actually so we didn't get that much attention about them, but I think the film is the best thing with the campaign because it's so instructive.
And what about training centers? Do they use the video? Do they sort of advertise for it through their training programs as well?
I don't know. I haven't heard about it, but we have it on our website, and Enova also had it on their front page. So it's there for training organization or schools and universities and so on. But I don't know if they are using it. But we try to advertise for it as much as possible.
Okay, I think, Marina, we have also one question about the cost.
Yes, thank you very much, Guro, for the insightful presentation. I wanted to ask you first, I mean, you said that you hope that this will be a great inspiration for other countries, and I hope that too, because you're doing a great work. Could you give some insight in terms of the costs, and also could you give some recommendation on the most effective ways for your dissemination strategy?
Yeah, regarding the cost, thank you, Marina. Regarding the cost, I don't know. I don't have numbers that split into the details of the campaign, but as an overall cost, it was 64,000 euros, and that includes both the website and the development of that, and to develop all the films, the 5 films, and the brochure, and to send out the brochure. But I don't know. I don't know the split. If to send out the brochure with the bulletins was the main cost, or if if the other things were the most, if that was the highest cost of just the development of the campaign, because actually we were not paying for it. Was the Norway, the state agency, that put the money into it.
Can you repeat the number that you mentioned? You said
64,000 euros.
64,000 euros, and that includes what?
Includes the development of the website, the holtet.no, and it includes 5 films. That's around 1 minute each, and the development of the brochure and the PR campaign, and then to send out the brochure through all the member bulletins. And that was around 50,000 brochures that was sent out.
Okay. Well, I believe that's interesting information to share. If it can inspire other countries or other organizations to do that, I think that's very valuable information. So I think we have other questions, Marina? I don't think so.
No other questions from my side.
Okay.
Could I just add a short comment?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, because if people are thinking of doing the same or a similar thing, just contact us. So we'll be happy to give advices if we can, or share our experience with other countries.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for this suggestion, because I think that's really the main objective of this kind of webinars is really to share information, and if you can share this information at the webinar and also encourage people to get in touch with you in order to share your knowledge, I think that's really great. So in any case, I think that at the beginning of your presentation, there's your email address. Otherwise, if people are interested, they can get through us in order to have your email address, and then they can we'll put them in contact with